So you've got your first van, or you're out there in a van and you're not quite sure on a few things, especially about choosing spots, where to camp, how to present your van, and just a few safety tips out there. Well, I've been van camping for years and I've come up with probably top 10 for me, and they may help you. I bought my first van in the 70s. It was a Morris J4 van, 1960 model. Well, it was a few $100, quick paint and a clean up, and it wasn't too bad. My mum made some stylish curtains, as you can see from the photos. Carpet was reclaimed from somewhere. In those days, it was also our party van, and we had some great adventures around the North Island of New Zealand. So let's get started. Number 1, early, late, early. Look for a camping spot early so you can view it in the daylight, check out for any dangers, any signs that are around, and get a feel to the place, because you're going to be sleeping there overnight. The next thing is arrive late. Do your fishing, do your drinking, do your cooking elsewhere, down the beach, pick a nice spot. Your camp spot for the night should just be the last spot where you pull up, turn the lights out and jump into bed and lock the door. And in the morning, you're getting up, move back to your nice spot down the beach, down the river or wherever. You can do all your cooking and everything there, so you haven't slept there the night, you've just arrived for an early breakfast. The big idea of getting away early is getting out there before the dog walkers are up, the locals are up and moving around, and they think, geez, that van wasn't there last night. My favourite camp spots was spent the day on the beach, sat there in the deck chair, had a couple of rum and coke, cooked me tea, had a swim. My spot that I'd picked for the night was not even 100 yards up the road, a little side road, and I was in a hospital car park. So I camped right up the back. There were some vans up there for patient movement. They're all locked down overnight. Slipped in there and I was back down the beach nice and early in the morning. Number 2, plain Jane. When you buy a van, make sure it looks clean and tidy. It's not covered in stickers. Don't go putting stickers on there that show every place you've ever been, and don't go putting big signs on there saying heading north or bust, or around the world or bust. Keep it plain, keep it clean. Blackout curtains are a great idea so the light doesn't shine through at night. Number 3, camouflage. Try not to look like a camper. Don't go adding all sorts of accessories on the outside if you can help it. Push bikes and everything else hanging off the back, and junk all over the roof, rolled up swags. They're going to know you're camping. You can put a ladder on the roof, make it look like you're a tradie, something like that. Some high-vis jackets hanging on your seats. You could put a hard hat or a clipboard up on the dash as well. Shut your curtains up behind the seat, have black facing out. Looking in at night, all you can see is black. It just looks like a dark, empty inside of a van. You can get fake magnetic advertising, but if you do and put those on the doors, make sure it's not advertising something that's going to entice people to break in. You don't want to be selling stereo equipment or something like that. Or probably a rat catcher or a gutter cleaner would be a better idea on your advertising. Another good idea for camouflaging is when you're parked up somewhere, especially at the beach, put some fishing rods out. Look like you're just getting ready to fish. If you've got a boogie board, lean that out the front. Hang your towel up over the mirror. It looks like you've been in for a swim and you're not staying there, and it makes you just look like you're just there for the day. I take an old telescope on a tripod and sit that out in front of the van when I'm sitting out there, and it looks like I'm waiting for the sunset so I can see the views of the city or something like that, or even have a camera on it. Face out. When selecting a spot, make sure that you've got a quick getaway if you really need to. Make sure you're not going to be blocked in at night. Don't park in front of skip bins and things like that. They could be coming in at 3 o'clock in the morning in the big truck to empty those, and you've blocked them in. And don't go blocking driveways of personal property and doors to buildings if you're up an alleyway. Make sure there's no camping signs, no parking or trespass signs in the area, and make sure your car keys are handy for a quick getaway. On the move. Number 5. If you're expecting to stay in the area for an extended time, find a couple of extra spots, alternate between them. Don't become predictable, and don't stay in the same spot for more than 2 nights. Number 6. Safety. When choosing a spot, look around for broken windows or window glass from cars that have been smashed. Look for skid marks on the road or excess rubbish around the place that looks like people hang out there on a night time. Old takeaway containers are a good sign of this. Keep clear if there's indications of homeless people sleeping in the area, large rolls of clothing, blankets, or shopping trolleys full of items collected. That's their area. Give them a bit of privacy as well. We all need somewhere to sleep. Not so popular. Avoid tourist spots and car parks along the beach overnight. Rangers know this is where people are going to camp, and that's where they're going to be looking for. So choose something a little bit less conspicuous away from the main tourist spots. Another good spot to have a look at is where there's couriers park up all their vans or buses and things like that. And if you can fade in amongst some white vans, all the better. You may just look like another courier. One spot that I've used a number of times was actually where the Port Authority had all their white vehicles all lined up in the car park overnight. So I just slipped in between them last thing at night, and I was gone in the morning before anybody came and started work. Number 8, stay home. At night, once you get into your van, the last thing, turn the lights out and go to sleep. Make sure you've got some way of going to the toilet while you're in there, be it a milk bottle, a portaloo, or one of those bucket loos. And don't be sliding the sliding door backwards and forwards. They're really noisy, and car doors opening and closing in the middle of the night, they can be heard from miles away. So keep all internal lights and noise to a minimum. Number 9, in the bush. If you're in a rural area, don't go blocking farmers' gates or laneways, because they'll come and move you on, possibly with a tractor. And steer clear of buildings, barns and outhouses, things like that, because there is a lot of theft in the rural areas. Farmers will be keeping an eye out for people camped up or parked up laneways. Get woken up with a knock on the door or a shotgun pointing through the air vent. One place I like is abandoned railway sidings. So if you've got a map that shows some where there was an old railway line, check out some of the sidings. Though enough room and they're off the road. And number 10, what if that knock does come? So you're fast asleep, the knock on the door, don't go opening the door. Hop in the driver's seat, put your keys in the ignition and roll down the window just a little bit so you can talk to the person that's out there. If it's a policeman in uniform, explain that you were tired and you've pulled over for the night, and they may or may not let you stay there. Rangers may move you on. Don't take the window down, and if you're not sure who it is, start the car and drive away. Go and find yourself a nice bright all-night petrol station or takeaway, or outside a police station if they follow you. So thanks for watching. They're my 10 tips. I hope you get something from it and it gives you a little bit more peace of mind while you're out there. So stay safe and keep the shiny side up. Catch you next time.